Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got some plays for you today out of my Carolina Panthers playbook. These are some plays that I'm recently adding to the Carolina Panthers offensive ebook that I put out on my website. I'm going to be adding these, which I never had in, and I'm going to be adding some plays out of the split panther. I can't believe I didn't put the split panther one in the book in the beginning, because that's a really good scheme that I put out last year that I recently started using again this year. So updating my ebooks. I just did a brand new version of the Saints playbook. It was the first playbook I put out, so it needed some updates, and now I'm going to be updating the Panthers with some new schemes. So if you guys want to check that out, you want some new plays that are really good, I'll post all the patches. These are going to be them. Other than that, I want you guys to know I finally crossed the threshold into HD. If you don't notice, some of my videos can be a little bit grainy at times. I finally, after a couple of years, got a capture card to have some nice quality HD streaming here. So hopefully, give me a thumbs up for that, because I know a lot of people have been mentioning over the years, not recently, but over the years, people have mentioned the quality of my videos aren't necessarily on par with some of the others. So I finally got there. Other than that, let's go ahead and let's get into the first play. The first play is something that one of my Patreon members showed me while we were in one of our coaching sessions. It's out of the drive corner. So this is not my play, but it was good enough that I wanted to. This is the reason that I dove into this playbook once again, or at least this formation anyway. I'm going to go ahead and go random nickel. So like I said, a Patreon member of mine showed me this, and I was like, well, I got to show that to my peoples. Now I can tell already this is a cover 4, so this is not necessarily going to work as good as it would against a cover 2 or cover 3. But the only adjustments I'm going to make is I'm going to put Bird here on a streak, and I'm going to motion over over the triangle route here. Make sure you have speed there. That's important. Now, like I said, this is probably a cover 4, so I would say realistically my best option might be the running back, and it's looked like it dropped down to a cover 3. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to burn that if you can get there. So there we go. Like I said, cover 3 is typically going to be the look. I don't know why Ryan Kerrigan was following him, but it is what it is. So here we got a cover 2. This is pretty much going to change the reads. The next play I'm going to show, or a couple other plays I'm going to show in this formation, are probably better against cover 2. But realistically, Bird is going to be the guy here if it actually stays a cover 2. The running back, though, he was just wide open in the flat. If I'd have threw it a little bit earlier, I probably had better catch and run space. That's okay, though. That's going to be your check down most times. The only route that you're really not going to do anything with is probably Moore. His only job is really just to pull coverage. So here we go. We got that cover 2 once again. Trying to get it over the cornerback there, and it worked out. But, that was still a tighter win than I wanted. But that will be your cover 2 read. Cover 2 read will be Bird. Looks like we might have another cover 2 here. Or not. I don't know what it was. But we're going to take the running back, because that's a good catch and run when you can get it. So we're just going to, we're keeping an eye on that. If he's getting in space, we're going to take it. No shame in my game. So like I said, when you're diagnosing a play post snap, if you guys don't know, you're basically just watching the safeties for the most part. Pretty much give it away. Like right here, that safety's dropping down or not as I'm getting sacked. But typically, that looks like a cover 4 match actually. So typically what you're doing, here it's kind of obvious based off of what we're looking at. As far as the safety dropping down. So we either have a cover 1 man or a cover 3. So we're basically just going to watch. Now, since we already know it's one of the two, we're just going to kind of watch whether the cornerbacks follow or not, which here they did not. So we're just getting screaming heat though. But you can see the triangle was wide open once again. So here I can tell already this is probably a cover 2 based off of how far apart those safeties are. Typically, when your safeties are closer to the cornerback than they are to one another, it's typically a cover 2. And it's shifting to a cover 3, I can tell already. So that's fine. We're going to go ahead. We want that anyway. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take that. He was wide open, but I got hit when I threw it, so it didn't get caught. No big deal, though. You can see that it works. That's the bottom line. That's the only thing that really matters at the end of the day, right? Is that the guy's getting open at the end. Because this isn't really for anything other than the look. And here we go once again. Look at how wide open that is. We got to watch a replay on that. That's incredibly wide open against cover 3. And it's such an easy play. I mean, you're just motioning over the guy. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this. How close... or we should follow the receiver actually. How far away is the coverage? You know what I'm saying? It's because how late it breaks that this gets open. As you can see right here, this guy's dropping back, which is typically what he'll do post patch. But since this receiver's so far away, by the time that he comes across, he's just choosing the shorter route. And then, like I said, look at the space. Like, how can you miss this throw? You got at least 15 yards of space to that safety and about a good 20 to 30 yards to the cover 3 corner. So this is just money. I've never once tried this without streaking Bird, but we're going to do that right now because it looks like a pretty obvious cover 3. So I'm just going to block the running back. I don't know if it'll work like this, where I can basically get myself another check down. And sure enough, it does not. So yeah, you have to streak from homeboy there. You have to streak bird. Yeah, half the streak circle. Like I said, that's the first time I've ever tried it otherwise, and it really wouldn't have gave me much of a benefit anyway, so I don't know why I bothered. But basically him streaking is what pulls that third safety, that middle third safety back, and creates such a huge throwing lane for Samuel, so that's really the point. Now this is, you know, pretty much, I want to say it's strictly a cover 3 beater, but realistically, because of Bird doing what he's doing, this will have success against cover 2, but it's really dependent on what your opponent's covering. It'll be, to me, this is a better play against cover 2 online, because your user middle linebacker a lot of times won't follow the circle route the way that the computer is. So that to me is pretty much a good way to go. So here, I don't know if that was a cover 1. Definitely floated a little bit too much, but he would have had that. That's the thing. So if you're setting up your audibles, I would say that play right there that I just showed, the drive corner, should be one. I would say that the next one, you have a couple of options. I personally like the mesh spot, but that's another cover 3 play. I think I want to, you know, slow this up and show a nice cover 2 play. And I really have my choices here, but I'm going to go with the slot post. So let's go ahead and let's pick that, even though I backed out accidentally. And let's go and let's pick that next. So like I said, running it just like this is fine. I personally, though, like to put McCaffrey here on a streak and then motion him to the line. Now this is going to be your cover 2 beater. And a couple other plays, I'm going to do this as well, where I'm going to motion McCaffrey to the line, so your opponent will not necessarily pick anything up. And if they decide to drop back and cover R1, guess what? Those crossing routes over the middle are going to be wide open. So let's go ahead and let's do this. I had to, you know, buy a little bit of time. I felt the pressure coming. If I would have held it, though, that would have been a home run easily. Let's go ahead and let's do this one more time. Although I'm probably going to do it a little bit more than one more time. But here we go. So, you know, this looks like another man blitz. I'm just buying time. I'm not really getting the most pass protection. He hit the home run, though, and they dropped it. Nice. So the only adjustment that I would make to these other routes is I think putting Samuel on a drag makes a little bit more sense. Just based off of the fact that I don't have any help in pass protection. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know what cover someone had to be cover 4 match, because that's just so broken. And he was going by a mile. Let's go and let's watch the replay real quick. I'm guessing that's what it was. But yeah, look at this. I get it has to be. I mean, there's just no other excuse for this. But yeah, he's just streaking up the middle. So if you're running cover 4 and you're playing this game, please don't. I don't know how many times I can repeat that. That cover 4 match is just about the worst thing you can run. So like I said, the drag is really just meant for plays like this, where they're sending more blockers than I have, or they're sending more pass rushers than I have blockers. You got to take that check down. It's not that the triangle route isn't a decent play, but it's, you know, it's just, I mean, as is, but it's really not that great. So here we go. We're getting that, he's pulling back that cover 3. I can tell right away it was a cover 3. This is more cover 2 play. Cover 2, maybe a man. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a blitz. So we're going to take that check down. Like I said, that's anytime you got more, you know, guys coming in, you have blockers. Take that drag, and get that check down. I'd like to get a few more big plays, though. Don't want to just take the drag this whole video. So this here looks like we're hitting a home run once again. Like I said, look at that. That's just, I mean, I could have held it a little bit longer, and I probably would have had a touchdown. The only thing that's going to really take this away is going to be the user. That's it. I mean, that's the only thing that's really going to stop McCaffrey if they're running a cover 2, obviously. Or if they put that mid-third. Obviously, the mid-third, you know, which a good amount of people use, can be problematic for this defense. But, oof. If they're running a mid-third with the linebacker, this is not necessarily going to do the trick. But, you know, it's gone here, though. You know what I mean? Oh, come on, bro. Phew, come on. Oh, we get the play. Nice. Now, in a different play from this scheme, I have a play where basically your running back is already in something that looks like a wheel route. And when I motion him to the line, it's going to beat cover 3s really well. So in this scenario, if you want to run a kind of decoy and get your opponent out of the center of the field in a user's capacity, you can do that, put him into a wheel route, motion him to the line, fake him out, and then put Olsen on a streak. And a lot of times they'll follow that, and they can just basically beat him up the middle with Olsen. So that's something that you can think about. I'm probably show that play next. I'm not sure if it's going to be in this particular you know, video, or if it'll be in the part 2, or how I'm going to chop it up. But overall, this is an option. So that's it for part 1. Make sure you guys hit the like button, and I'll put out part 2 Other than that, it's on my Patreon now, and if you want to check out the ebook for this, all of those links are in the description below. And at the very least, give me a thumbs up. Like I said, HD now. We're in HD here. I'm excited for this. So, other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching, Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.